All right. All right, so we're playing a bit of a EU5 now. Continuing our last campaign, or the current campaign, and first and only campaign at this point, so to speak. So, what I'm trying to accomplish at the moment is to save up probably at least 400 gold. Ideally, around 1600 to be able to place these market hubs in all these different kind of places. So let me check something out here first. We are missing something. Let me just restart a little app here. Might have to fire this one up here. Let's see. And that should give us... that didn't work. We'll restart this. Slight technical things I should do. We'll close these up and we'll start them up again. This normally works fine, so it should be alright. Okay, there we go. It's popping up. And toggle the borders. I gotta do it twice. That should do it. Wonderful. There we are. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm trying to save a bit of money for these market hubs. I just finished researching. Each of them cost 400 ducats, so we're gonna need a few. So at least two, so one for Naples and one for a new trade hub, which is located here in Skopje. So I'm targeting the ones which are giving the greatest yield at the moment. Eventually we want one in Tarnow as well, but that's something that we're working towards. Why these places, you might ask? Well, I own the land in all of them. But we're kind of still working on converting some of that land, gaining proper control. Control is very important, of course, because that dictates how much of a yield we can get. So currently we're converting this one, and do have roads leading all the way. I'm hoping with the coastal influence, we'll be able to spread influence up here. But there is that question about whether I want to take the rest of Bulgaria or not. They are our rivals. So if you were to take like these kind of shorelines, which would then be, you know, again, something we can influence better from afar because we're focusing into the kind of naval control. That will help us with that. But kind of remains to be seen if that's worth it. So we recently left the war and we're hoping to stay out of one for a while. Just to save up money for these things. Actually, I think the market structure was 800 gold, so it's quite a bit. So with that in mind, I was contemplating whether it'd be worth to actually start building up a more kind of direct trading philosophy by doing these things manually and looking for things that are we can control and export and build up a monopoly in possibly. And if we do have things locally, it might be worth, you know, that are low price, it may be worth exporting it, and it may even be worth you know, exporting some of the goods to lower the surplus on the market to push up the local price as well. These are some of the things I'm considering. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a experimentation just back and forth to see what works. And so this will be the screen to look at rather than the other one we had. So it's more hands-on, isn't it? So I'm actually selecting imports and export by numbers. Looking for like stockpiles, you know, what things are worth a lot. Ideally I want to trade things, you know, that have high market prices so they could give more a chance of a higher yield per item. So for those things, you know, we want to make sure we have the surplus so we can actually trade it. If not, you know, do we import it, ideally produce it ourselves cheaply, and export it. Of course, when we do get access to faraway markets like the West Indies and, you know, the Caribbean, that should give us more goods, you know, different goods that, you know, like corn perhaps and sugarcane. So we can kind of get a foothold in our market as well. That can do a lot for us. The silver's looking kind of good here. The price is average though. So I think the price on the left might be the base price. So each item has a base price. The price it fluctuates around. So we can then see that this one's, you know, 0.4 ducats higher per unit in the Naples market. Of course, there are other markets as well. So we can try to pick and choose a little bit. And as for the exports, I suppose we could just look at whatever market, right? So if we take something we have a surplus in, which we don't have much of at all by looks of it. Yeah, so that's the stockpile in Naples. We do have some, we have like a warehouse and some other things. So the stockpile is decently good. But we do just have very few goods to trade out. So if you want to export goods, we probably want to build a number of those structures. That can help us to build up the surplus, bring down the price locally, and then export it, you know, to somewhere the price is good. Alright, so we get a negative supply here, so this could potentially be a profit thing. So if you import this one, see, so there's good potential profits. We're already importing a little bit, but I think if you do like you know, we can take partial control of the market just when you're starting and then expand that. Okay. As for the activities of the government, we're mainly just integrating the provinces we captured, which are quite a few, as you can tell by these, all the red on the map. So that's a number of years to get done properly. But we have expanded quite a bit. I would really like the Northern Empress as well. We did establish a spy network there and Casus Belli. But something I recently discovered as well was that Venice has a very formidable army. Or navy, I should say. So, while we could probably face them on land, we need to get our troops across safely. And we lost our main fleet in the fight against the Ottomans here during the last war. So that's a fleet of 20 or 30 large ships, and galleys, Mediterranean galleys, and flutes and such. So that did cause us dearly. So that's another thing we're trying to build back, but all that costs a lot of money. We do have the manpower. But I think if I prioritize getting greater market share and higher revenue from the markets, it might actually be worth it. And so we'll wait until a better time then to take this area. Because they are... So Albania, which we had before, used to be our vassal, but we lost them due to some diplomatic difficulties over a particular time. But they are in fact a vassal of Venice, so we engage them, subject that is. If we attack them, you know, Venice will attack us, and we can't really face off against this navy of 10 heavy ships at the moment. So I have the access to early Carrack, but they have the full Carrack, the later design, with 50 cannon versus 40, and 25 hull versus 20. The other side seem to be similar. So I could, you know, if I had, you know, greater numbers and a really good admiral, we might be able to take that on. It's gonna take a while to build up. You know, since we lost that other fleet. Otherwise I would probably move in faster. So it's been a change of plans, if anything. Golden area for culture. With peace in our country, another good thing with peace, right? The greatest musicians, artists and poets are rejoicing in their newfound opportunities to entertain their betters. This area of cultural enlightenment is definitely improving the mood of the two Sicilies. That's good. Get a bit of culture gain here. That's another kind of sub-project of ours, if you will, is to try to improve the culture over time. So that gives us more political influence and prestige. Which is really lacking, as you can tell. Alright, so let's have a look at the market again. Alright, another war. All else to help about. Oh, this is different though, because that's all the way up to north here. So we can join that without actually committing. Gotta make sure that the expenses towards the military and navy and such is still kept low. I'll have to keep an eye out on any kind of incursions coming down from the north though. Unlikely, looking at the numbers and the positioning. We did have that when there was a bit of fight against the regions up here. They snuck an army into my homeland, so I'm just gotta keep an eye on that. Alright, so we're up to 500 after the first 800 we need. So that's really our main focus right now then, trade and also get another navy ship. Alright, so that's the first large one we built out again. Just gonna keep it on the harbor for now. Yeah, these two. That's fine. These three navies are just building up my naval control. Like here. And that's to push my influence. Which is why I want the Northern Emperors. Because that's just, you know, just across the coast. I don't know if there's a way to, you know, force them to change the vassals. You know, if I were to improve the relationship really high. Maybe it's the spy network. So Northern Emperors are subject to Venice, spy on them instead, yes. But the thing is, I want these to break free from Venice, not the other way around. I don't care about Venice by itself. So if we check out Venice. Venezia. Right, so should be able to right click. Open all diplomatic actions or covert actions. I don't think any of these actually cause them to lose subjects. This is too costly for us. The only thing would be if it could really crash their legitimacy or the stability in the country. And then, you know, if I could have independently influenced the other nation, you know, in that case I would have liked to sow discontent or something like that. But that does seem to be the case, so it's going to be all-out war or nothing by the looks of it. So that's going to be something we want to do later in the case. Trading and Naples market. This one. Yeah, so these are the three markets we're going to want to play with. particularly Naples, Skopje second. It's just going from the revenue numbers. Skopje is a huge market for us. So really should invest more there and do whatever we can to get more control. So we got 10 up there. So we're currently integrating, so as soon as that happens, that's going to be a big plus for us. And then maybe we can build like a castle or something up there to improve our kind of control. Even if it gives the nobility a bit more control. And then as a central hub, then hopefully this will kind of push the control out from that point. See. So do you have plenty of diplomats? It's a problem we have frequently. We have too many diplomats. As if in that being an actual problem, right? So we'll 102, that's quite nice as it is. Do this one. Trying to build up a situation with Tunis. We've been rivals for a very long time. So I'm trying to change that now. So we've actually spent 20 of our stability to break that. They're just too powerful for it being worse, actually attacking them. I'd rather go for Aragon. Right, another huge change for us. Simply because for maritime, this plays into, again, spreading our influence. So the safest way for any ship to sail is to do it close to the coast. Unless they actually have to cross the sea, there's no real reason for them to sail away from the coast and lose its protection. And they steer quicker than going by land. As such, fomenting a constant flow of ships along our coast will allow for easier circulation of goods and people. So any kind of coastal area, you know, when we have good control, that will kind of flow, you know, will kind of push our influence. There we go, just turn down a little bit. Yeah, so that will push our influence and power, and thereby control to those regions. So any coastal regions are regions we want. Right, so I suppose I can put in some of my own manual sort of orders onto the market. And if I lock them in place, then that will kind of overtake any automatic trades that are in place. And then if there's like a space in the market, you know, my marketeers will take care of it for us. Okay, so peace been granted. Good, good. We're almost at 800, so I'm not going to do anything right now to risk that. But as soon as that's through, we're going to, you know, kind of push through that and build that marketing hub. So we got Casabella against Bulgaria now. It's just something I don't really want to do. So we got a difference. The map gives this as original Bulgaria, or like the regional Bulgaria, I suppose. First, the diplomatic mode actually gives us their current area control. Right, almost there. Luckily, at the same time, we are kind of working on these integrations, and there should be some buildings being built by the general populace, nobles and such. So, as we stand, it's a bit of a sit back, relax, let things happen sort of situation. Sale of titles. One of our advisors should just yeah, let's try that again. One of our advisors has suggested selling off titles of the nobility to anyone who can afford it. It could bring in lots of money and open a way for social advancement for the rich if we do, but it would be devalue the idea of nobility and perhaps upset existing aristocratic families. Ooh, so long cold. Yeah, I think we'll do that. That's worth it. We'll drop in just underneath 50, but hopefully that will be temporary. So I get a plus here, and now we can build the first one of its type. Current buildings, and let's see. So Naples, I just want to make double sure it's actually building it in Naples. And that's where the market is. So if I switch production, will it still be there? Okay. Right, so we're looking for a thing that costs 800 ducats. What's this then? It seems to be a different screen from what I'm used to. It gives us the potential profit rather than the costs. So it might be a different screen. Trading hub, is it? 500. Trade office. Okay, let me just back out of that and try that again from the start. Goods. Buildings. There's going to be a burgers building. So I got plenty of marketplaces. Brewery, Trader Smith, Wolf, Glass, Guilds. Got some warehouses. We can also build a bit more. No, we can't. Alright, so let's go. Counting house. 278. So that gives us crown power. Was his trading post as somewhere else? Trading hub. Market attraction and trade capacity to owner. I think this is one we were looking for, but it was more expensive. This may be the trade office, no? Maritime presence to owner, trade advantage. So these are all things we want to build wherever we can. Do I already have a counting house? Well, I'll build one of these. Alright, so trading hub, market attraction. We do want this one here, that's for sure. Okay, we can only do one of those in this location, but is this a thing we can only build once? While a point across trade network, the trading hub constitutes a great place to sell and purchase many exotic local goods. If in the market center, the location benefits by this. It's a bit strange. I'm trying to see where the other market is. Skopje. So if I were to build one here as well. Alright, so hopefully this works. So this should show up in the Skopje market. And if we switch to Tarnova, then maybe... Alright, so these are 3 markets anyway, so we'll experiment, so let this go. I think this should work. But, you know, supposedly the reason it's not showing up before is because we haven't actually converted or integrated it yet. So this might be a long-term benefit. Meanwhile, there's the other market up here I want to build one for, and a couple of more other buildings that we saw. I think these things would give us like a direct additional income when these kick in, so we grab more of the markets. Now we attract more goods to flow through the trading hub. I think overall this is looking pretty good. Don't just need more money. Always more money. I think eventually, when we have more control and have things built up in a way we like, we should hopefully have plenty of ducats to really invest heavily into the economy. This might take us a while though. I think besides maybe the Northern Emperors, of course, Constantinople would be nice, but we don't really need it as such. I don't think we need much more warfare for the time being. Maybe focus more into exploration and faraway things like maybe tiering and long distance trade, getting those really valuable rare items to Europe. Rare for Europe, that is. And we will need to build up the navy again, just to kind of secure our position in the Mediterranean. Maybe some of these navy ships need to be sent with the long kind of excursions. I think that might be a thing. You might need to send a warship. Or like give a captain command of warship to explore. And each of those expeditions does cost quite a bit. Alright, so let's look here again. So burger buildings. Always makes me think of hamburgers when I read it. Alright, so the trade office. Maritime presence, trade advantage. So this is the easy one. If we don't already have it, then we need it. Trade. So we already have 4 of these. So yeah, they cost 32, so we could... It's very limited where you can build it. Wonder why that is. We own this land, so that's fine, but for the rest of them, let me just pause for a second here. Need to get the diplomatic screen up. To see what we own, right? So before we actually build trade offices, I want to make sure they're in our control region. Alright, is this Naples, or is it here? Building trade office in Terracina. Velatria. Okay, I think this might be outside of our domain, so I think our land ends here. Yeah. So why would I want to build it here? Don't really see a good case for it. Well, it's just to filter kind of goods from there to my market, but I don't think we can. And then we had some other things like a counting house. And the overseas trading post. Can we build it here, or does it need to be like... Oh, I see. So I can build this in land I don't control. And it needs to be far away enough, I guess, from the core province. Okay, and how about the counting house? It's a local prong power. And yeah, that's about it, isn't it? Okay. So maybe just say up another 600 or 800, was it, to place another hub in Tarnovo, and then we need, I think, 200 ducats to build these forts to get some control. So I think it gives additional 100% crown power, so it is a bit, you know, it's debatable if it's worth it. According to some guys I checked out, it isn't, but I don't know, if you have no control, getting 20 in control, is that a good trade-off? Alright, so we can finally send explorers. Beyond our shores lie uncharted lands, ripe for the taking. The recruitment of brave men and explorers is at calls for the unknown. It's a lucrative and vital opportunity for us. So we're making no money from the Dubrovnik market. Right, how many years are we looking at here? 98, 6 more years. Really quick. Properly civilized countries do not allow petty commoners to attempt any kind of serious thought. The eyes of the world are upon us, and the world does not like what it sees. It's okay. I don't really have any prestige. Luckily, it doesn't go below 0. I like legitimacy and stability. So we have so many sailors right now, but don't want to spend the gold yet. Want to get one more market down before I do that. And then maybe we'll divert our income to building the fleet up. Right, peace of Poland, that's fine. Not a war we were very actively, you know, involved in anyways. Right, let's see what the Senate's up to these days. More council works. Increase ties with neighbors, that's usually a good one. Controversial portraits. A local artist by the name of Malakresti Riki has approached King Carlos II Angio, offering to make a portrait displaying as a deity and savior of the nation. Our lack of censorship laws makes this issue morally grey. On the one hand, nothing is technically stopping them or this from happening. And such a work would potentially bring prestige to the nation, but on the other hand, the subject is rather improper and impious, rather regardless of law, or impious. Such a commission will certainly upset the clergy. Clergy is quite happy right now. Really well-known portrait of a holy ruler. I might actually want to do this, yeah. It, you know, helps the arts. And let me look at him. He looks a bit like, you know, Jean-Luc Picard, right? just with the crown. So if anybody's a saint, you know, it should be in. So then if we have a piece of art made of him as a saint, and then when he does pass away, in some years' time, we might be able to proclaim a saint, and maybe that will make him even more sanctified and more valuable, from my perspective. So we will actually go with this. Church be damned. Alright, so we are filled up with diplomats once more. Let's see if we can get any favors. England. I'm going for these rich kingdoms. Sweden was kind of rich on this time. This will allow me later to ask them to give me money, which is, of course, nice. So we've grown quite a bit from our humble beginnings as Naples, Napoli. And we took Sicily, and that became the 2 Sicilies as a result. Now there was a patch in between then and now, from once I started, and apparently they added some new kind of options for the 2 Sicilies. So I don't know if I think I've kind of missed them because I started a little bit earlier, but maybe they'll come up later, who knows. So it would have been nice to see them if they are, you know, part of it now, but I doubt I'd do another playthrough straight away with the 2 Sicilies just to experience them. I'd like to try a different age next. Life in Naples. Okay. As a representative of areas that are sometimes quite distant, finally cramped and filthy. Okay. The hot months have been unusually hot, the wet months unusually wet, and the cold months unusually cold. The number of Senato members have now decided that they have had enough, and approach us asking for help to make this day more pleasant. It's gonna cost us, isn't it? Lose fire support. We're gonna risk it right now. We're at 50-50 for this passing. Might cost us 7 stability if it fails, but we're gonna gamble on this, and we need a gold a bit more for production. Because we have some very expensive buildings to put down. Skopje, Tarnovo. That should be Tarnovo here, yes. Can we build that structure we're looking at? So I think the crown power is more of a thing, as in it helps when you're making policies, but it doesn't actually help the, you know, control of the region. Right, trading hub. We cannot build another trading hub in Naples. We're not trying to build one in Naples, we're trying to build one here. What about a trade office? Maritime presence, not gonna help. A trading advantage, and trade capacity. So I'd like that here if I can. Okay, we can only build a trade office in a foreign location, and Tarnovo was part of the Kingdom of the 2 Sicilies. Ah, I see. So this is to kind of trade in our way. Or, you know, into markets that are outside of our control. Interesting. Let's just show the buggy ones. What else is there? That's a new one. Trade advantage. I'm going to see if we can build that in any other markets. Oh, this shows all the markets. All right. How much is it? 200? And let's see if I can do... Doesn't look like I can build one. Alright, we'll skip this one then. See what else we have. It's a good thing it does show us all the markets so we can kind of look through everything. How about the counting house? There are no workers to employ. Oh, we could place it now and it'll eventually... You know, it should get workers eventually. It'll take a while, but this will influence it towards that. Same with Naples. So, let's see, 200... We need 580, is it? So if this gives me more crown power, I think I have 100% in Naples already, so no point in building it there. But maybe Skopje, it's a market worth putting it in. Price and... Where's Skopje? But I can't build here. We cannot build another counting house in Skopje. Oh, we already did. Okay. How about up here then? In Tarnova. Good. So that one goes down. So we want one in each of these. We already have a counting house here. Here we could possibly add the building we were looking at earlier, as this isn't actually part of our terrain. So we might be able to get a bit more control of the markets. To the trade office. I was looking for the Dubrovnik market. I think I lost it now. Let's go back. Dubrovnik. Yeah. So here we'd like to build one of those. If we could. I'm clicking it though. It is not letting me for some reason. It is interesting. It seems like I can really spread these out. So if I do find another market that's far away that I like to work with, then it might be worth actually investing in some of that. Okay, so Venice has some... Where's Sefulu? Okay, so the overseas traded posts, let's see where we can pop them down anywhere here. So in the kingdom of the Ottomans. Just check that. So it's 50 gold. The overseas trading post is an outpost of ambitious merchants who seek the luck and fortune in the business in the lands far removed from the home country. Trade advantage and capacity. I know there's a market here somewhere. Here in Valle Kese. I think we should trade up with that. So if we build these outposts along the shore, will that help to filter some of that control to me? So we have 200 people living in the market already. So yeah, 8.84 trade capacity. So I wonder if this goes up if we build these structures. So we go back and then pick out the trade office once more. So we can plop down 3 just to try it out. Overseas trading post. Should check what our... I guess there's a comment effect until after it's been built up. Throw some of them there. Okay. We'll see what happens, right? So a 200 ducat gamble, which we're about to take. So let's see, if we go back to the markets, 8.84. Should probably write that down, and then we can check the number again after the builds can be built and they have people working. Right. Okay, so let's just allow that to go on for now. Yeah, because we have like no control at all. Success in Senate, that's good. So it's a question whether this is even worth doing. But I wanted to try it out just to see how it plays out. I don't suppose we could cause a bit of control just by naval presence here later on. Also, I didn't really want to place it in these here, because if we do go to war against the Ottomans eventually, I'll be capturing these lands. If I capture one with the trade office in it, or offshore kind of trade office, then, you know, that won't be offshore anymore. Right, so we got diplomats up to Wazoo. Let's see what we can do. This will reduce the loyalty they have for the overlord. That's the one we want. So if we can make them our own vassal and then annex them eventually, this will be the most ideal kind of situation. So we're going to try this to begin with. Anybody else that want to agitate for liberty? I think this one has on the Venice as well, so we want to, yeah. Gardania. So I want to weaken the influence of Venice if I can. Sure, we'll do this. Is anybody wanting to give me money at this point? Anybody feeling charitable? Not so at this point. But we always love inviting settlers, particularly from close by areas. Let's get them into Naples, away from the Papal States, weaken them as well. Still have a number of diplomats. Keep improving relationship here. Do the same with these North African states. Yeah, just to put the, you know, diplomats to work, to do something, right? Alright, so these provinces want even more autonomy. And which province would that be? Oh, it's a number of them. It's a lot of control to lose. These are core ones as well. How much is it? 10 each? Now let's rein him. Put him to the gallows. Make an example of him. These are our most valuable tax areas, so we don't want that at all. Okay, so we're checking, just making sure we're looking good here. We're all over 50% for all these, so that's what we want. Alright, so we're at that point now we probably want to start building up the navy. Again, that is. I was actually researching towards getting a better vessel. So how far away are we to that? That's something we want. More projection. Throw that there at the back end. What else do we have? Shipbuilding, ships, war galley. I think, yeah, last time I checked it, the war galley wasn't as good as some ships from the earlier age. Not for direct warfare, right? I'm just looking for the ships here. We got the Hulk. Let's just trade. Well, carrying the troops. We need something with cannons. Might have been here. This would be nice, a bit of prestige. Medication really hasn't been such a problem, to be honest. We had a Black Death and everything, and it was just fine. I mean, we lost a lot of people, but it wasn't as devastating as I thought it would be. Then again, I'm playing on stand difficulty, maybe higher ones are worse. I think you can change like the difficulty to make sense. War galley. See, 12 cannons. So the ships, the Venetians we're using had 50 cannon and 25 hull, I think. Yeah, we have 12 cannon and 8. So maybe they're better. Maybe they're better at sieging. Like here. Blockade capacity. And maybe movement speed. Is there like a flanking thing for ships? Combat speed, initiative, flanking. That seems to be the same, right? Yeah. So maybe they're better for, you know, blockading. But I need ships that are good for sinking enemy ships. Searching. Well, this looks good too, let's see. Boasting traders, these quarters houses shops and storage, serving the economic heart. Trade advantage and capacity again. So this is a building that's good spread. When you can, right? So we have no available locations anymore. Alright, let's have a look at the name of the ship. I think you should be able to type that in and find out where it is being researched. So Karak. So let's try this again. So Karak. That's the way to do it. So it is number 11 on our list. I I think we can just build the regular ones and possibly upgrade later. I've seen that you can do that with some of the land units as well, so maybe it's the same for the Navy. Let's hope anyways. Alright, so let's splurge on these. Alright, one for now. So these are a little bit weaker, but you know, we need a lot anyway, so might as well get started. Allows open sea exploration. So maybe that's another thing we want to do then, because we do have like this carrack here. If you right click, select objective, I think it's here, right? Or is it one of the people? Let's see. I think I saw it at some point where you can start an exploration, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Just need to find again how to do it. We don't have the money for it, but I want to see where it is, so I can do it when I can. So maybe that's might be the next goal, to send off a ship or two. Alright, let's try this fleet instead. Select objective. Yeah, so they're just patrolling, they're building up naval presence. Always worth it keeping a bit of money behind as well, because these people will eventually retire or pass away, so they're all kind of getting up in years a little bit. That's for the game. So let me see if I can find out how to do this. Let's see. How do I start an exploration in EU5? Convoy maybe? Alright, to start it you need to pay ducats and sailors and more manpower, assigning an appropriate leader, and launch the expedition from your geopolitics tab. That's the one. So this one, the one I really haven't clicked a lot. Alright, so we need 100 ducats to begin with. 250 manpower and 100 ducats. Yeah, this might be a good time, but it does cost us a lot of money. So 10 per month. That's another 10 gold we need, I suppose, to building the fleet. So maybe this is, yeah, maybe we want to do this a little bit later. I think I'd probably want to send off to east to do a bit of spice trading. I know Portugal's going to be going to Caribbean. Maybe Greenland. Where's the Macaronis? That's off to the east, isn't it? Scandinavia, North Atlantic, Northwest African coast. That's the thing with this country, though. The trust country, they can keep spending diplomats to build trust, that whenever there's a war with any of these other nations, it just comes right in there. So I don't really push much tally in them trying to keep good relation. Ideally, I'd want to get rid of them. So colonial range is 3350, so we're limited by that, of course. The Sahara. Oh, okay. But those to the east. I suppose we'll have to just kind of start mapping things out. And then, you know, you get further and further away. So it's going to be 340 ducats in addition. In addition to the 100, so... yeah, 440 of them. Roughly off by 10. Alright, so let's get some more ships instead. Far more important for me right now. Control the land next to you, or sea next to you, then you can start extending beyond that. Seems to be something going up in northern Italy. A flurry of activity in sieges. Here's somebody starting a exploration path as well. Is that him going on board? Look at that fancy looking hat and rifle. I think the way ahead of us in tech, land tech that is. So, let's keep them happy. Excuse me. Under 7-8. The target country will get a -50 opinion of the chosen country. Venice. Alright, so I think something's not happening there. They're gonna start getting unhappy with Venice. Their kind of vacillations are deteriorating well because of some sabotage we started. But hopefully eventually they'll break free. Besides, even if I don't claim the territory, I would rather them to be in an independent power than part of Venice. Let's get out a couple more. So if I do end up having to deal with Venice or anybody else, I want the Navy to be far superior. Not just in skill, but also size. Just cause. Good, that brings down antagonism. How are we looking at the rebels here? Right, so we do have some of these still. This is dropping as we're integrating the areas more and more. We're now aware of the Azores Sea. Now reap the benefits of exploring Crown of Castile. Right. We are now aware of the maps of the Azores Sea. So first off, can we see what that is? Is that this? We now reap the benefits of the explorations of the Crown of Castile. Okay, so they found it and we're reaping the benefits. Let's see what kind of a resource they have, if any. So we might have to go out there and investigate to find that out. Yeah, not sure that's money we can afford right now. But we don't want to wait too late. We want to get, you know, into the exploration game with the others, so we're not left behind. Right, so North Africa, it's all expanding. We do have the knowledge to actually send some ships, and to some extent. So I did put some research toward that. Researching merchant guilds. So as soon as we get this, is that a structure or is it something else? Might just be something that I kind of get. I'm kind of hoping to just get it from research. Yeah, I'm not seeing a building, which gives us the following benefits. Nothing I place into our maritime kind of build up. Speaking of, we have enough ducats to build a ship. Another one of these. I think they had 10 of these. They're now up to 13. Right, so they might be trying to meet us as well. Besides, even if we do engage with a similar fleet, they might be able to spend ducats to get a mercenary fleet. Yeah, because we do see a bit of that. I wonder if there's like a counter buff, counter bot rather, I can add to the channel that kind of siphons out these bot messages. Alright, we're forming a union with Hungary, the two cities and province. We now pass, yeah, protect each other, we have that already. New king. Oh, 100 in warfare. It's going to help with the integration. King Louis III and you will now rule our glorious country. His apostolic majesty's good leadership skills and superior tactical knowledge will help us vanquish those that dare stand against us. And yeah, so he's passed away. Okay, and he's 50 as well. Not the longest reign now. But he's very capable in the things we need right now. I think after we have integrated all these areas, we'll probably start to push more for administration. Not sure we need diplomacy, because we just have... it's just overflowing as it is. And we don't seem to have any problems maintaining relationships. Alright, let's just allow that to grow up a little bit more and then I'll pick up a couple of ships. Okay, so we got 40 now. We're gone up from 35. Wondering if it's because of these trading houses we built. So, let's look at the market at 9.42 train capacity. We had 8 point something, right? 8.84. Alright, so it looks like that actually is worth doing. Particularly from the markets we are trading from a lot. So might want to build a few more of those. Not looking into capturing the market here. But who knows, right? I'm quite happy with this area. So, especially if we can get this vassalized eventually. And I don't mind the Ottomans. Maybe we can buy this back with time. We left them with this kind of mountain area. The worst of the worst, I hope. Yeah, just a bit of wool, isn't it? I think we checked that before I actually gave it up. Alright. So 2 more ships. Let's go get that started. Trying to spread it around as much as I can. That way, you know, the production pipeline isn't halted on that. Because it takes a long time to build these. 2 years, you know, in some places. Okay, they joined the coalition. It's just them at the moment. I think it's going to be hard to break that unless we get rid of the rivalry. But then maybe you just want to go ahead and capture Bulgaria. At least these here. Now, it's our relation with the Golden Horde. It is good. So we should be okay getting a bit closer. And as long as keep these friendly, I think trade should flow through. I don't know if there's any kind of taxation, I think. So back in the day, of course, like you had, you know, the Germanics and Hanseatic kind of guilds, and then Denmark, all kind of trying to control these channels that went through Scandinavia. And anybody that kind of control that, you know, gained vast amounts of going at the time. So that's why I'm kind of wondering with Constantinople, this little patch here, a little channel. We do control the northern part here when it comes in, and with the forties. But, you know, ideally I'd like both sides of the channel and all of these here. Right, controversial protectionists. Since our advisors started influencing the trade development in 2 Sicilies, internal trade has been stretched at the cost of curtailed imports and increased state regulation. While the advisors' decision to improve infrastructure has been appreciated, recent suggestions have caused many influential people to question their philosophy. Detractors argue that the king is taking their advice too readily, and that we should look for mutually beneficial deals with other nations, rather than seeking to dominate every area of trade. Yeah, let's lose prestige. 0 is nothing. We're close enough to it. At some point we had this at 20, but it didn't last very long. Just a few years, but then it was gone. It was a distant memory. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Yeah, we probably need a bit more in this by Wenlock before we can apply a bit more pressure to wedge the 2 parts. So we'll have to do something else for the time being. So this might be a good thing. If I start a spy network in Argonia, they are our rivals. Might be worth, you know, taking them on. Rather than Tunis, right? Which is much more powerful. So maybe we can get Sardinia to break, and we can grab them politically rather than through warfare. And then after that, you know, now we can Argonia a little bit, and we can actually get in there and take it. So let's build a spy network. Let's improve our opinion with Granada and Morocco as well, because we're going to be moving a lot of ships through here with time, I imagine. So we don't really want any opposing fleets or anything when we're doing that. Right, a couple more ships. We finally finished integrating one of the provinces. Very nice. So let's pause it and find out which one it was. And let's see if we need to focus on the Orthodox Zealots for a while. Their numbers have dropped, but they're getting a bit more agitated. So this one's almost finished as well. That's really good. I think it was this province we just got. So let's see. We can try to integrate a little bit further and then move over to dealing with the Zealots. Increase province. Control. No, not control. We're trying to integrate. Through the cabin, into the cabin. Here. Integrate province. That's the one we want. This little patch of land might be nice to integrate, but you know, without actually having the rest which the Ottomans have, I'm not sure it's going to be worth the time and effort. Maybe there's some other regions more prevalent. Like this, for example. Yeah, we'll take this with the hopes that it kind of brings in a bit of control inland. But this is like the Ottomans, so if you were to integrate this straight away, that control probably would not flow because, you know, the Ottomans being in the way. Alright, so we're about to finish 2 more as well. Alright, pull us up to its all shenanigans again. We will join, but we will make sure we're not spending any money on it. Balance, army, navy, fort. We want those 2 cats for ships. So let's just check. Is it the same again? It looks similar. I think it was yeah, I guess it's the same, isn't it? So they do have a lot of allies, so that's fine. We can just sit back here and let them do what they have to do. Alright, let's get another ship going. Right, yet another ship. If I'm building all these, I'm not sure it's gonna, you know, be enough. Right, ship building speed up by 20%. That's good. We have plenty of sailors though, so that's not a problem. We do need more of AS maritime control though. So I think for that we need pretty sizable navies. Okay, so Varda's been integrated. So is that the one with Skopje? Yes, it is. Very good. So let's have a look here at the buildings we have in place. So we have a castle. Doesn't look like that gives us any... Oh, market has access 100. That's fantastic. Don't we need more local control though? Because I think this will just drop with time. Okay, well, let's see what else we can put there to increase the control. I think it's just one building at this point, which I think costs about 200. That's probably going to be... thought it was a castle. So maybe it's a burger. Clerics and noble. Maybe it's a noble one. Nope. Okay, let's not filter anything and have a look through the list that way. We got lots of marketplaces. Data skill, scriptorium. Alright, so we already have the trading hub. We're just waiting for burgers. This will happen at time, particularly if the leader is good. Same with the library. So we're just waiting for people to come in here. Because that gives us market attraction and ownership. As for taxes, we do want control rights. I thought there was another building. I think I'll build it down here. Oh, that's the coastal fort. Toll Council. Okay, let's just time pass a little bit while I'm doing this. Actually, we want to make sure the cabinet members are working hard while this is going on. But they were already doing it. Maybe it's just slow to update. Might just do it at end month. Okay, we do have one that's not doing anything. The Great Province. Yeah, so we're doing it from the shoreline and inwards, with the idea that control spreads that way. So I want to save up about 200 gold, have that in reserve. That way, we should hopefully have enough money for any buildings we might need. Skopje is really integral at this point. it's making more money than Naples. We want to make sure we have enough much, you know, flow of money going through there as possible. We have built a lot of these structures already with the intent of guiding in there, and you know, of course, they built some of these for me before I actually came in to capture it. Bridge, what does it do? Local proximity cost goes down. So we might need to build these in a lot of different regions for it to really pay off. So income's actually starting to look relatively healthy at this point. Even without me stepping in and kind of trying to maxing the profits. If we get another 10 gold per month, I might start an expedition at that point. Saints perform miracles. Some particular devout members of the clergy and the laity within lands have dedicated themselves to helping the poor and healing the sick across our kingdom. We're now hearing that the communities these pious individuals visit are starting to call them saints for their actions. With some even believed to have performed miracles. Let's get some stability. I am aware I said I wanted to keep 200 reserve, but it's coming quickly. So I might want to start joining these navies together at some point, just kind of see how many ships we have in one place. Right, so it's mainly Bulgaria at this point that's upset with us. Everybody else is pretty much laid back. So one thing I haven't really worked with too much in this particular game is to deal with the church. That might be like a whole different avenue, right? So maybe maxing out your logic power, using the church to influence whatever you want. So that might be interesting in another playthrough. Yeah, so this is taking care of itself. Milan's getting into it though. Alright, so it's the same as before. Don't know if we can afford it this time. I think so. Alright, so we get 2, so... one painting of Sean Connery, and then one of our new king. Both saints, obviously. Not Sean Connery, what was his name? Patrick Swayze. No, that's the dancer, isn't it? What's the name of the actor who did Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek? Stage performer, really good actor. Should know this, right? Shouldn't I? Oh well. It'll come back to me later when I least need it. think our fleet's starting to look a bit healthier at this point. Another thing I want to do is start spending some money on roads. And I think we even have improved roads research at this point. But it's just so expensive. Each road can usually cost 100 to 3, 4, 500 depending on how far away it is from the capital. What kind of terrain we're building over. So we don't really have that kind of income to do too much of it. We can have a look at road network here. So each region needs to connect in every way to be fully kind of profitable. So maybe Skopje, we can just make sure we build roads in all direction. It's like a central hub. We do have the river as well. That's another reason why it's so good. Because trade flows downriver and upriver. Ideally, like mostly downriver. So, how do we get that menu? Right, so if we can find Skopje in Skopje. This looks like a different place. I'll scroll down. If I do it by name, should be Skopje, I think. No route towards Skopje can be found from selected location. I mean, there's already a gravel road here. It's already one. So maybe we already have, well, most directions. I think that should do all of them then. Here we're lacking one, so let's add a road between these two at least, so when trade flows in this direction. So I click here to build a road from here to here. I'm not sure if it actually adds up, so maybe the river, if it's better, I think it just always takes the highest factor. So this might be a waste to build a road this way, but I'm going to try it regardless. Speaking of trade, maybe we should build some of those foreign trade offices. That seem to really pay off. So maybe for the Tunis market. So I don't know how much we're getting from there. It's relatively weak at the moment, I think. 3.77, so maybe we can bring this up. Can we filter it down? Mass build. Sure. Oh, okay, we just click it here without money. Alright, so we're getting trade offices here and there apparently. I think we had one up here at least. Might not have been the most ideal way to spend this money, but maybe the long run will pay off. I'll check it back after we have a bit more money. See what else we can do to Tunis. I want to see if we can get the foreign trade office maybe. Here is Yark. A strange name named Raniero Costa has been spotted in the countryside at various locations around the kingdom. It's teaching a most unorthodox version of the creation of the world Do ever listen to his jovial ramblings? According to some, Raniero Costa represent a dangerous and vile reinterpretation of holy teachings. Many of our Serbians seem to have been taken in by the heresy of the would-be prophet and his ideals. Intrigued by the reputation of King Louis III Angio as a free-thinking man, Raniero Costa is now demanding an audience with our king, offering to act as an advisor in spiritual matters. That's a big ask, isn't it? So the world as a cheese with worms. Okay. Cannot allow Raniero Costa to make a mockery of our faith. Probably going to be the last one, but let's look at this one again. The world as a cheese with worms. Fascinating perspective. So it's until his death. Monthly progress for innovation. So we actually get another member of clergy as well. He is 62. Speed of integration. This one would be really good for a cabin position. So it might actually be worth switching out one of the cabin members. He is 62 though, so it won't last too long in that position, but still it might be worth it. So if you wait a couple of months and then switch out, we do have some research to help to decrease the cost of doing this, so it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. Like financially, maybe just 40 at this point. Yeah, so let's do it. And secondly, yeah, so an innovation, right? So innovation. I think we're going that way already. Yeah, this is cheaper to get new institutions. We have all the institutions for this age, but for next one, which is approaching soon enough. Let's help with the literacy, which is really good though. But the main drawback is the stability investment cost, which is quite a lot. Culture influence helps, as we have all these lands we need to integrate and kind of push our culture to. This is maybe a more long-term kind of situation. Alright, but for now let's do this. Alright. And we're gonna switch out the cabin member when we can afford to. So when is it fighting it off? Is it a ship? No, it's land-based, isn't it? No, it's coastal. Or is it? There seems to be armies rather than ships. Just look at the numbers. Right, we'll give it one more month and then we'll see if we can change out one of the cabin members. Simply because he had the integration cost speed up by 10 or 20%, which is quite a bit. When we're talking years, right? I would like to get a bit more into the manual handling of the economy at some point, but for now still plenty of other things to tick around and do. Right, so let's have a look here at the cabinet members. Cabinet. That kind of looks like him. Did he get added automatically? Speed of integration modifier. Let's have a look at the let's see, people that are in court. Where do we see that? Let's see. Parliament, estates, cabinet. Should be a list of people somewhere. I mean, you'd think it's under society. People. Here we are. Characters. So I'm going to see if we find him here instead. Can you sort by age? I think he was 50 or 60 something. But I should recognize the haircuts if we see him. If that's not him already in the cabin. So is it this one? It's the one we had. I thought it was this one. That has, he had the ability to integrate quicker as well. So I would have thought that would show up here then. Maybe all these clergy members look kind of the same. Let's keep looking. Raniero Costa. Here he is. Speed of integration plus 25%. The rule is a fierce negotiator. We will have an easier time convincing master and captains to fight for our cause for less pay than they would otherwise demand. 25% for integration speed. And he has 98 on top of that. I mean, he's fantastic for this. So this one has 60, 75, 59. Will he be our target? Change the cat assignment to his cabinet seats. Change the counter assigned. That's yeah, so that's probably right click. We'll try it. 4.5 stability. Not sure that happened. Let's look at the list again, because like I said, this list may not upgrade straight away. Change the countersigned, so maybe we need to do it here. Costa. Okay, there, that did it. So lost a little stability, but we get this amazing converter in instead. Okay. Now we can start up the game again. Alright, so let's get some of these ships together. We'll send them all to Naples. Or rather, join this one fleet. So what do we have? 9, 10, 11. Okay. So we matched them, or matched what they had before. I think they have more now. They have 13, and then these light ships are what? Carracks? Or barks? We do have a box to match them, but we want much more. Alright, so integration we should be done here quickly with our new preacher man. So we get 100%, so I should be popping up in the messages soon. Alright, so let's have a look. We should have a bit of spy network built up here. So, if we... we're at 17, maybe need 20 or 25 maybe, so wait a little bit longer. As you may recall, I'm trying to break off Sardinia from Aragon. Much like I'm trying to break off this section from Venice. Through political means. Great, so that's finished. Our new An Orthodox clergy member has finished the conversion, so let's move on to the next one. Integrate province. So many of these. See how long this takes out of curiosity. 1500. 3 years. And that's okay then. Maybe it's because it's just like one province. We'll give it 3 years. And then we'll move to a larger section. That way, like, all these core areas are integrated properly. And then I'm hoping if we do buy these lands or capture them from the Ottomans at some point, they will be included in this integration. As it's like, I think it's integrating the province rather than the individual kind of locations within the province. Yeah, so it's been quite a long gaming day for me today, unusually so. Played 2 games already. Wild. Cabinet member. So he lasted, what, year and a half? A year? 9 months? Half a year? For stability and... that was a base, wasn't it? Okay. Well, in that case, we will have to get a new cabinet member. Try to get somebody young in here. A young whippersnapper. So look at cabinet. Point member. We do have the gold, unfortunately. This one looks good. 94. What's this? This ruler is an obsessive perfectionist. A keen interest in detail in minutiae is not always coupled with an equal talent for such things. Constantly causing interruptions and delays, our ruler is doing a lot more harm than good when it comes to developing our internal infrastructure. Well, I'm not sure, is integration a legislative thing? If so, it's horrible. If not, he might be good on the same. Though this one might actually bring a lot more with him. Monthly literacy and innovation in the areas. This ruler is a scholar. The ambition to learn about the world and the governing principles of men and nature makes a ruler able to understand and implement new technology much more efficiently than would otherwise be possible. Great general as well, though. But I think we'll grab him over this. But he's 69, though. Not the greatest thing in this game. We just saw what happened with that, right? So let me see if this influences integration. Let's see. Does legislative efficiency influence the speed of integrating provinces? Short answer is no. So, legislative efficient primary effects are quickly you can pass laws, switch reforms, and reduce antagonism between estates or factions. It's useful for wide empires or multiplayer scenarios where rapid law changes matter. It does not interact with province integral mechanics. Okay. So, in that case, we will grab him. And he will get to work. Where our preacher left, well, get to work with the preacher left behind him. Right, what else do we have? I think these are just warships here. Yeah, 12 heavies. These are just the... oh, it's one or 3 heavies, okay. Yeah, so then we have the cogs or the hulks, which are the transports. So if I break that off... So the carracks, and I'll bring them all together. Not the hulk, but the carrack. Like so. Then we take these and they join here. So now 15 heavy ships. We can do some real damage with that. Now I would like to see that number even larger. We got a bit of gold here now, or ducats. So let's see if we can build some more foreign markets around Tunis this time. Keep improving the relationship. I wonder if they are considering a survival. If they broke in and remove that. Enemies. Rivals. We are still a rival, yeah. I mean, maybe they'll drop it eventually. We did have it on them for a long time from the very start. The game started like that. So it might take a bit for that to be removed. But until that's done, it's going to be kind of hard to make good progress with this, I think. What other markets do we have? Is this a market we want to get into, or this one? So that's going to be the Nile. So that's going to be a lot of trade that goes through here. So maybe investing a bit in this area might be lucrative. Particularly good relationship, so we can move through freely if we're trading in the Asia markets. So what's our relationship here? And where was that market placed? Right here. So we want to start building things down here to grab a bit of control and influence the market. Yeah, because we do get some of that, I think. Yeah, so it passed by Naples and Greece as well, into the other markets in Venice, so that might be something worth actually investing in. So we have 360 ducats. Can we build something here? Trade office. We can only build trade offices in a foreign location with owners at least 100 opinion. So we need to improve the opinion with Egypt. Maybe they can even become allies. Alright, so maybe that's our next immediate goal. So let's actually add that trade market. Go to the outliner. Wait. Yeah, it did go in the right place. Okay. So we have no trade there currently. That's, you know, just putting that to remind me. And well, we can start working towards that. Because they're bound to have some, you know, unusual items. They're not rivals. So that will make it easier for us to actually get some trade going. Of course, if you could break the whole situation with Tunis, bring them into our side, that's something I would like. So the war is still going on here, where we're not investing in, but we are supporting. So every once in a while we send them a letter you know, telling them how well they're doing fighting. Giving them, you know, spiritual support from far, far away. Meanwhile, integration can go well here. So advanced research. All these, I'm doing a lot of research into improving the maritime control. Alright, so did we finish one? I thought we did. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 4 cabinet members. 1, 2, 3, 4. Soon we'll have 5. Getting at the next stage, right? We're probably at 5 then. Yeah, so I'm sitting on this money a little bit. Diplomacy is now stuck at 0. Why is that? We have a lot of diplomatic capacity as well for, you know, getting vassals. We did annex a lot of our previous allies, like all the way down here. So that's why we have so much. I think once some of our diplomats get back, I think that influences like the strength of these, well, the speed we're getting diplomats, right? Don't know this for sure, but I'm estimating that the more diplomats we have sent out, the less this moves. So we have an option here. We can spend a bit of money to try to bring that up. So if you go into balance, it is rather expensive. But maybe it's worth it for a little bit. Just to kind of improve things here with Egypt. We're gonna need at least 2 diplomats. Alright, so we got 1 back from Tunis. Well, hopefully this will pop up at the end of the month. Keep an eye on it. 0.23 now. Let's see what happens. Now we have 1 diplomat that isn't out working. This is the task for the month. 3 more days. Let's see if it jumps up. Alright, so it doesn't. Alright, this particular stand pod might fail. We get a bit of, you know, backlash or kind of pushback, I should say. What are the Ottomans doing? I mean, they do have their own little thing going on down here. Don't tell me they're preparing for war. I would not like that at all. This is why it's good to keep Hungary, you know, as a long-term ally. So we do form a very powerful power block in this region. The Egypt, let's start improving that. In my opinion. There we go. So we need to get that up to 100 so we can get somebody into that market. In the meantime, is there something else I want to build? Marketplace is always good. How about, can we build something around Skopje? No? Okay. We just keep throwing this out, spending our money. So apparently marketplace is like one of those structures that you never really lose out on building. Right, so it keeps 70 behind. It's all about getting more produce to move into your markets, getting larger share. So let's have a look down here as well. Starting to be a little bit more concerned with the Orthodox zealots, so soon we'll have to put somebody into this, or onto this. But we used to have about 750,000 of these, so as we grabbed or integrated provinces, this is increasing. We're decreasing the number, so it's getting better. These patriots pop up once in a while, but the numbers are so few that it's not really worth worrying about too much. So more of this. We just lost 7 stability. Do we don't want to lose 7 more? No, we don't want to lose Palermo. What's going on with these people? So Sicily's just trying to pull back a lot. It's bad enough as it is, right? So we'll spend sensibility. He sounds good. He's good for trade. Where was Pavia? Hey, what's going on? New king. King Carlo III Angio would now rule a glorious country. His tutors could not make a great matter out of his apostolic magically, though we hope ruling his country, great country we are. Did we just get like a... Well, I guess he was in his 50s, like mid-50s. Yeah, that's him, because he was really good. That guy was really good. Alright, so what happened? Died while the army was camped. What was he doing out there? I don't recall sending him off to war. He was at court last time I remembered. I don't know. Maybe he was part of an army. We do have an army down here. Somewhere. Here. So maybe put him in charge like 20 years ago and just forgot about him. I do try to avoid putting any of the rulers into these situations. The more of a thing, if you had a small kingdom and your best general was the king, then maybe, just maybe, but I have lots and lots of different generals. Okay, lost another cabinet member. Luckily we have the funds to replace them. But at this point we will run out of cabinet members. I'm not loving any of them. I'll take this one though. I'm hoping the marketplaces will give me a bit more revenue. Currently what's kind of slowing it down is our expenditure into diplomats. Wonder if the low stability influences the diplomats we're getting. Right, so it will take a little while in some cases to get the burghers, or the required burghers to fill those positions, but hopefully this will give us even more trade in Naples. So looking at things, it looks like Skopje is actually going to be more valuable. So maybe we should start kind of pouring money into that. And that market and that region, more so than Naples. The main reason for that, I think, is because of the river system we have. Flowing from the mountains of Skopje all the way to the coast. So we get access to a lot of regions and trade flows freely. So I'm glad I finally captured it. It's taken a few attempts over the years, maybe a... Yeah, maybe 80 years that's taken us to actually finally capture it. Well, the main concern now is Hungary. They are a bit eager for warfare and fighting, so they keep dragging me into wars, but they're such a good ally to have. And it kind of looks like Poland's still fighting. Yeah, they're still up here fighting away. We do have an alliance with them, I think, and might even have a royal marriage, or at some point. Actually, I'm gonna want to add Tunis here, just to keep an eye on that market. At 2.01. A very weak market at this moment. Yeah, two very clear winners. Our newly arrived Skopje and Naples. Oh no, it's like far behind, but that might change once it's been integrated and we get better control. And these control, you know, these provinces being converted as well, so that should hopefully help with naval influence. Getting a bit of control into this area of my kingdom. So how are we doing down here? We wanted, I think, 100 in a relationship. So it's going to take a while. I wonder if we can see what's causing their opinion. So different culture. So not a very good view of Catholics, understandably so. Alright. But we will show them that we're different. We will try anyways. Alright, so we're getting some more diplomats back. This is good. So maybe we can start pulling back on that expenditure for time being. Let's see what it looks like if we drop it back down. 0.05. Not quite sure why that changed. We did have that at 0.2 for the longest of times. And without any expenditure. I'm kind of curious to see what's caused it to change so quickly. Maybe it's the spy networks, that's probably what it is. So if we... Yeah, maybe we want to stop with that. Maybe just we want to keep one or two. We have one up in Bulgaria as well. Because I don't think I want to engage in warfare there anytime soon. The main thing I also want to do is like some diplomatic influence, breaking up this region from Venice and Sardinia from Aragon. Question is, do we want to be attempting all these things at the same time though? So that's probably the main thing that's holding us back here. See if that's still going on. Corrupt official infiltrates. Steal maps. Corrupt, so discontent. That one's really costly. I haven't really tried this one. Maybe there's like a late game thing where you can afford that kind of money. That's per month. Right. Sabotage reputation. This is one we've been using. So maybe just gotta keep doing this. So, can we not do it against Venice because they're a vassal? The other option we had was, I think it was directly with maybe it was this one. We need 20 in Venice. This will force them to break in alliance with our nation and unable to regain their ally anytime soon. So this requires 20. Okay, yeah, so that's 20 favor. But the thing is, they're not an ally, they're a vassal. So that's a bit different, isn't it? We have 0. Currently, for favors, we need to have a better relationship, I think. So here we are currying favor with Venice to get Northern Epirus to break away from them. I don't think that's going to work. Covert actions, is that it? Okay, yeah, so this one was to agitate for liberty. That's the one we picked. So eventually, if their loyalty goes too far down, then, you know, there's a chance they'll break free. So we don't really want to... Can we improve our opinion independently of Venice? So if we can keep this really good, and then they break free, then they'll shift over to us, potentially. But there's a huge negative with the shared border. I mean, this is massive, right? And I'm not sure we can overcome that. So the other hope is just to break them entirely free away from Venice, and then engage in warfare, just attack them, right, if they're isolated. And then we can capture them. So that's really my only conquest. Well, my only conquest plans would be untrue in it. I mean, that's just more like the most pertinent one, the most likely I'd like. Second comes maybe Bulgaria getting these coastlines, but that's like, you know, on a fence between that and capturing Aragon or Sardinia. I think Aragon and Venice are more up our alley. This is like so far away, it's going to take us a long time to even build the naval influence here. For it to be worthwhile, I think. Okay, let's have a quick look at Sardinia here. So we want to do the same there, right? So we're agitating for liberty. I think we're already doing that. Let's see, it should be covert options, right? It's a fiefdom of the Crown of Aragon. So they are a loyal subject currently. I'm kind of curious, if you have a look at Northern Epirus, we should be able to see that hopefully as well. It is disloyal, so it is working. This is dropping, so we just gotta keep putting on the pressure. Hopefully, eventually they'll, you know, rebel and break free entirely, and then we can, you know, move in. So I want to do the same with Sardinia. We have really good relations with them. We have no borders, so, and they're like an island, so that works out really nicely for naval influence. And then we can start pushing on like Genoa from there. Okay, but let's see what we can do. So we need to get that code action is, right? Agitate for liberty. That's the one. The two Sicilies agitate for the liberty of Sardinia, making them disloyal to Aragon. Right, so these two are worth investing in. I think I'll, hold off with any kind of warfare here for the time being. Because we're working on too many other things right now. I'm gonna build up market access here. And some other such things, so let's just stop with this here for now. Hopefully that'll get us a bit more diplomatic kind of increase. Yeah, next month hopefully this will bump up a little bit again. There we go, 0.2 straight away. So we lose 0.1 for each of these by the looks of it. Now it's looking much more healthy on the diplomatic side without us spending money on it. So that's really, really good. Right, another integration is finished. Is that Naples right now? That's our newest one. So let's have a quick look here actually. So that's 60%. Can we get another domain or two before we start pushing back on that? Integrate. This is hardly worth it because Bulgaria controls most of this. I'm wondering if I grab this one, if that will... Let's see, here's the market, right? So we probably want something next to the market. Let's do that instead. So we kind of get this block. Now I could send out the navy to, add navy influence. They're asking for peace up here. I'm not going to do it separately. We'll keep good relations with Poland. Because if I broker peace with them independently, that can influence the way they view it. As in, this guy will join us when the war starts, but they'll just, back out whenever it's convenient. So if you're not sending troops up there, it will may influence how they see us in the future. So the Ottomans are requesting access. Where are they planning to go? Here? Or Bulgaria? So it looks like the ship's going north. I would rather have the Ottomans here than Bulgaria, to be honest. Let's have a look at the Ottomans. See if they're at war with anybody. And then whom they're at war with. It's this one, right? So first Ottoman Jalairid war. I'm gonna save. Save game. Just in case I misclick something, I'm not looking to join the war, I just want more information about it. Okay, so let's resume. Click the Ottomans. Go back here once more and click here. Okay, so that hopefully tells me where they're going. So it's the Ottomans against all these. I don't really know where any of them are. Spani sounds, some of them do sound a little bit Middle Eastern. So maybe they're going south. At least none of them are the northern Epirus, I think. In which case, yes, I don't mind giving them military access. Will you pay for it? Let's see if we can do that. So it should be access actions, right? Request, offer military access. So it doesn't seem to be a way for me to, you know, ask for a bit of money for it. We'll accept it though. Just, you know, we're building a good relationship with them. I'm not looking to fight the Ottomans. I could, but it's not in our plans. But we'll let them pass through our lands as long as they don't go for this region. Military tradition, that's good. Where are you heading off to? It might be... No, that's going to be Venice again, isn't it? If they go for that. We're losing a bit of people now. For some reason. Any disease or anything? Oof. Why is everybody moving here? From Athens too? What's this place? What is this magical place? City of Bursa. Why are you so attractive? I mean, it's a really nice built-up city. Almost built up all the way. Prosperity is high. Development is high. The Ottomans are doing really good in developing their population. I'm happy for them. But at the same time, I give it a greedy eye. Do we want to engage in war now? Do we want to grab this city? Because I mean, that would include this side of the canal entirely, and this. And that would make for some very, very juicy land. Can we add a bookmark or something? It's kind of, you know, hey, keep an eye on this. So I have this add-on here, which makes this kind of open and nice, but the creator of that, the mod, did say that it had removed something about map markers. I don't know if he's fixed it. Map markers. Let's see. I want to see if I can add a marker myself. So it pops out when I look over the map later. You know, so I know how to keep an eye on it, and that this might be something worth actually grabbing at some point. Let's see, can I add a bookmark myself onto the map? A notable location to remember. Don't actually want it in the list on the right, I just want it in, like, you know, on the map itself. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is a case, but you could yeah, you can rename some of the colonies, or like location, probably the ones you control yourself. But it should be a, you know, outlier or province renaming. So that's kind of like a bookmark system. Kinda. Alright, so let's go back here And let's find this beautiful place, City of Bursa. Into action menu. Wonder where that shows up. It's up here. I'm gonna select it and just double check it's the right one. Everybody's going there, even from their own country. This is the place to be. Then we have people moving here. This is also the Ottomans. They're moving away from there, further inland. Okay, so it gives us the migration numbers. We've got Greeks moving in, Turkish. Yeah, this is a flow we want to stop, so maybe we can, maybe by making Athens more prevalent, or some of these regions up here. Because we've seen this fluctuates, you know, from time it flows to my locations, which has been in the past. But now this seems to be the place to be. Right, we do have some inwards as well, so a lot of people go on to Naples. I see, yeah, so this is, the map is controlled by the ruler, or the country selecting. So for this country, this is the flow. My own country, this is the flow. So we are losing some people as well. A lot of people are going here. So maybe we invest here. And this is in Thessaly. I wonder what makes it the difference. Is it the prosperity that brings people in? Is it the buildings? Food surplus, goods? So maybe I want a fort here. This seems to be a valuable location. We do have a lot of people here. Also control. 24. So okay, we have pretty high control. We had a lot of people move here before. We have good control. For some reason they're now migrating from there. Yeah, they're all going here. We don't even have ports. And I think this might be the Ottomans. Alright, so people are moving here from the Ottomans to my domain. So this flow of people, it might be just from the Ottoman Empire. I think this is all the Ottomans. Yeah. See, there was all these, right? But it's still of the Greek culture, so they're moving away from these. Alright, so it's not as bad as it looked at first glance. But there's like a massive joining up of people here. So I want to find out why. And can we help this build up? In that case, we really want access to the ports. These two become so valuable. So if we want, you know, trade, we want to get like these two to help with the control. Control is like 24, but it could be a lot better. It's let's talk to them, see if we can buy terrain off them. Open all diplomatic actions. Relationships are decent. Have been better in the past, but not too bad. Buy location. Alright, so it can't be done as we're at war currently, and Bailik is fighting the Ottomans. We'll wait for those to expire, and then hopefully we can just buy one of these. We'll see. Alright, so in the meantime, let's have a look at things here. We wanted that to reach 100. Okay, looks like we still need to work more on that. So I think they'll return before they, you know, they have a certain amount of improvement, and then they come back. So I don't think they're gonna, you know, go infinitely in improving things. Yeah, so when this is finished, whatever point they're at then, they return, and then we'll have to send another one, another diplomat to continue until we get to 100. So we're gonna need a lot of gold to Udukats to be able to buy this. Like I said, the other option would be to fight the Ottomans, but, you know, I don't really want to. Too many wars, too many lost lives over these last 150 years or so. So I want to see if we can do things through diplomatic means instead. Is there another way? Besides, I do think the Ottomans have a much stronger land army than I do. As in training and such. And particularly, I think they brought in the Trebizonds, and they are very potent. And the Ottomans were bringing large armies as well. So, if I can do this peacefully, I'd prefer doing that. So, improve the opinion as well here. Maybe that will kind of help keep the price lower. If we end up offering, you know, to buy land. Okay, and who's fighting them? The Papal States. I think they're fighting Aragon rather than Sardinia. So they're disloyal. This is working here as well. Wonder if we need to send another diplomat to do this soon. Because we want to keep that pressure on. Okay, peace in Poland. Maybe just pause it here to have a better look. Economic actions. Should be subject actions. Maybe. So we're actually kind of close to this. As long as they break free, we might be able to do this. The current ruler is King Alphonse of Barcelona and regent. Oh no, this is asking to become their fiefdoms. No. Should be all the way around. Let's not make that mistake. Okay, so we are still agitating for this. So maybe this just keeps going until we are discovered, or until we run out of spy network strength. So it might be like a monthly cost. I think liberty agitation is probably more important than reputational ones. Let's have a look at what they think about Aragon at this point. It's quite good, isn't it? Alright, so here's showing between Hungary. I want to see between Sardinia. Okay, so that opens correctly. If I click here again. Okay, I suppose it only shows the relation towards us directly, numerically, but we can see like the coloration. So they have good relations with us and Aragon. So then it might be worth starting to add a bit of friction there to make them more willing to break free. here. Should have kind of checked that. Okay. Okay, so that's gone down by 5. And so change it by 0.282 each month. Right, so I was kind of looking to see whether the, you know, provoking them for individualism or freedom from Aragon played into that or not. We'll see, we'll see. If so, this might, you know, that action might run us quickly, and we might have to build this up again before we can continue that. Alright, so the spine level is 0 here. We might need to... Oh yeah, so it's just 58 up here. For all actions. They're not gonna love it if they found out that what we're doing, right? So we need to maybe do it from here. Code actions. Okay, of course we have the diplomats before we can change anything. So we dropped down to 0.15, so by 0.05 less between months, maybe. Yeah, due to the action we just took. We just have to keep an eye on it. You know, a lot of these kind of subsystems you just figure out by continue trying, experimenting, and seeing how things change. Though maybe it's because he sent a diplomat off to the Ottomans. Who knows? The developers of the game know, but I don't. Alright. So we got a bit of gold here, the ducats. Let's spend some of it. So if there's anything we can do with Skopje, I'm gonna do that first. Anything that gives me a bit more income from there or improves that market. Yeah, they're really struggling with getting the burgers. How's that going? So, available for employment. Current. So it's 16 new per month. So it's going to take a very long time then. Can we help with that somehow? Alright, so that gives us more literacy for clergy. We want literacy for the peasants. Again, here's burgers, so it's not really much point in yeah, not much point in building this because there won't be anybody to work that position. So these are soldiers, these are clergies. Maybe if we have more literate clergies, they will help the general population. Right, a place for seclusion and contemplation. Monasteries are a refuge for those that want to dedicate their lives to communion with the heavens. The grounds are thus for study and reflection, and great knowledge is usually guarded behind these walls, or their walls. So they eat a bit more food. So few of them, not a problem. Conversion speed could be useful. So go from Greek Orthodox to Catholicism. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh no, maybe there's something else worth building somewhere else then. It seems like they're kind of stuck on the population thing for now. Not quite sure how it works, because it does also give the clergy more power in here, which I'm not sure I want to give them. I would ideally want to hold the most crown power in all of these marketplaces to ensure that I get a large part of the trade. Okay, so let's just look at other possibilities. So we are not necessarily limited to just the province around Skopje. Let me see. So just looking at which provinces are influenced by Skopje. We might actually want another market down here, actually. Because these are so far away that they probably won't really get the full benefits. And then rather me starting new kind of market down here somewhere, rather than it going to the Ottomans or somebody like that. Then again, this risk that kind of ruins a good thing. They are our, well, they were our best market. So we did build a lot of marketplaces. So maybe that's kind of what influenced it. So maybe that's something we want to do. Let's build loads and loads of marketplaces. Keep getting more kind of... maybe this is why they're going down here, because of the marketplaces. As you may recall, this was the region where everybody's moving to currently. Right, and I suppose we could try to max them out. It's all about getting as much of the market as we can, and I think we're out of money. But this one we can keep pushing with a little bit, I think. Right, so hopefully this will help us get a larger share of the Balıkesir market through Skopje, and then eventually we go to the turnover market. This was primarily for Skopje. So if we look at this mode, we should be able to see market access, right? So a lot of times if it's less than 50%, that's when people talk about it's worth getting a new market. But these are quite close, and maybe this will improve as well. Yeah, it's looking actually pretty healthy. How about the turnover market? We're really only concerned about our own lands. 79, it's actually quite good. 80. 65, yeah. I don't think we'll be starting another market then. These numbers look really good. Skopje can improve, but it's decent. How about the two Sicilies, actually? Let's check that one too. We'll have the Naples market, right? 71, 65. Yeah, this is looking healthy. It's because of the access by sea, I think. Alright. So we won't meddle with that. We'll leave the markets as they are. And just keep building on them. And hopefully we'll just exert trade dominance just by pure investing in the markets. And then eventually in production, something we haven't done too much lately. "17 galleys. That's not too bad. I can take that on. So these have... I think galleys have like 20 guns or something. Right. Dream about pursuit of uncharted territories. What a time to be alive. Like that YouTuber, right? Dream by the pursuit of uncharted territories and the mysteries of the unknown. Explorers from Castile arrived on distant shores. These lands are inhabited by the indigenous people, speaking unfamiliar tongues and adorned with striking adornments. This discovery raises more questions than answers. It might alter the course of history in ways we can't yet foresee. A new world awaits. Its full potential and challenges still shrouded in mystery. So in 1492, Christopher Columbus had sailed hoping to find a new route to Asia. Instead, he stumbled upon the Americas, a land already home to millions of indigenous people. This moment marked the beginning of Europe's exploration and colonization of the New World, thus changing history forever. Very true. It brought new opportunities, but also devastation as native population faced consequences, disease and cultural upheaval. This discovery is due to connect two worlds, reshaping society and the global balance of power in unprecedented ways. What a time to be alive. Yeah, we should really send out some exploration ships soon. Maybe even now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get our beak wet. So, let's get some exploration started. Do we have access to the Americas? That might be too far. So we may have to kind of gradually work our way there. I want to go to east if I can. So while Castile, look at them, they've grown. While they're going west, maybe we can go east. Though fighting for Dominion of the Caribbean is always like exciting, isn't it? With them Buccaneers and those adventures. So Ghana area, so that's going to be to the south, isn't it? Scandinavia's north, north. West African coastline, western. I think we might need this one. Then we'll, get another piece until we reach the Caribbean. Why can't I start heading off to the east? All the coastline is like on the west side as well. Is it because we need some sort of alliance diplomatic agreement with Egypt to pass through the canal? Or was there even a canal back then? Or was that dug? Because that's not fully natural, is it? So maybe we need to go all the way around the Africas and South Cape before we can head off east. Alright, so let's try for that. Sahara, West African coastline. The further south we can go, the better. Let's try this. Select the location, start construction to exploration. Naples, wouldn't it? With that should be the place, right? Saliero. Why are these bright green? And these not? Let's do it from the Salerno ports. Is there a different price? Same price. Might be availability of sailors or something. But we'll do it from the province capital. 230 days. 230 days. These are blue. I see them better, isn't it? I think blue is the best. Alright, so if we get a war, we probably want to keep it on the west side. Okay, so this is like the markets. Yeah, so I guess you're pooling resources from the individual markets. So maybe this one's... The thing is, like, it's the same amount of people, it's the same cost, same duration time of to prepare. So I'm not seeing any benefits, you know, of one location and compared to another one. But I can even do it from here. 307 days. Okay, so that's 233 on Sevi. Okay, so that's gonna take longer. 330, 307, 230. So what do the colors indicate then? I'm sitting here shaking my head in confusion. That's the only reason I wouldn't want to do it for Naples. We'll send the first one off from Naples. Then we need to pick a general. Okay, so while serving as explorer, the abilities of Capitano Pietro have the following effects. So administration, exploration cost, diplomatic exploration preparation time, and exploration monthly progress is from military. Naval damage taken. This one's iron stone. This one will be good for long trips. Repair will last 203 days. 204. 212. Yeah, because that's because of the skill, isn't it? So the diplomatic skill. This one's really capable. So Pietro Parentuselli will be our first explorer. Make us proud. I'm just gonna do one, trip to begin with. Try it out. And, it's a heavy burden on the taxpayers. Acceptance of all is road to progress. The petty division within a nation has long retarded our development. Since opening out the administration to all talented citizens, we have noticed great achievements in the development of local economies. Tolerance makes us rich. Is it good? I meant to say this is good. It wasn't a question. It was supposed to be a statement. Alright, let me save it here. Right, I think I'm gonna take a break now. I've been going at it for a while. A lot of streaming today, so we need to take a little break, I think. Right, thanks for stopping by. And let's continue the adventures of Sicily. and 2 Sicilies into exploration next time. Alright, until then, take care.